wake of the recent Nepal earthquake that sent tremors through North India, seismologists were unsurprised. They viewed it as a long-expected reminder of the unpredictable earthquakes lurking in the region. For a very long time, scientists have been warning about the mounting pressure beneath the Himalayas. These towering mountains formed when the Indian plate moved northward, colliding with the Eurasian plate around 40 to 50 million years ago. This whole region from the Hindu Kush to Arunachal Pradesh is in constant motion due to tectonic forces. Over the last century, scientists have closely watched the Indian plate's relentless northward journey. This constant movement creates tension, with the Eurasian plate gradually building up stress in the Himalayas. This stress may eventually lead to a major earthquake, possibly exceeding a magnitude of 8 on the Richter scale. Many experts believe a significant earthquake is looming in the Himalayan region, but the challenge is predicting when and where it will strike. The anytime window could be as short as the next minute or extend to several hundred years. Dr. Samar Chopra, the director of the Institute of Seismological Research in Gujarat, emphasizes the difficulty of seismic science, highlighting that while large earthquakes are anticipated, their exact timing, location, and intensity remains uncertain. He said, "We can see that the stress is accumulating at a faster pace, but the challenge is that we lack information about how much stress has already built up. Seismology is a relatively young science with just a century of instrumental data at our disposal." Before the recent Nepal earthquake that claimed the lives of at least 140 people, the region had experienced even more devastating quakes. Uttarkashi in 1991, measuring 6.8 on the Richter scale, Chamoli in 1999, measuring 6.6, and the 2015 Nepal earthquake measuring 7.8 serve as a stark reminders of the region's vulnerability. The problem is that the Indo-Gangetic plains, which include densely populated areas, cities, dams, and various power plants, are heavily urbanized. This region's unique bowl-like shape, with layers of sediment spanning from a few hundred meters to 8 to 10 kilometers beneath the Earth's surface, exacerbates the impact of earthquakes. The earthquake on November 3, centered in Nepal, was felt across a vast area encompassing northern states of India, including Delhi and National Capital Region (NCR). The reason why tall buildings in the Indo-Gangetic plains experience intense shaking during Himalayan earthquakes is because these quakes generate low-frequency waves that match the natural frequencies of high-rise structures. The sediment layers in the plains further magnify the shaking. Structures close to the earthquake's epicenter, especially low-rise buildings, are most vulnerable to intense shaking, while those farther away, particularly high-rise buildings, become increasingly susceptible to stronger tremors. The northern and northwestern states of India are gradually resembling earthquake-prone regions like Japan, China, Turkey, Taiwan, and California. In these areas, infrastructure development is planned with earthquake resilience in mind. For instance, in Japan, entire cities are built on sediment layers, and they routinely experience magnitude 6 earthquakes without significant damage. The key takeaway here is that we cannot prevent earthquakes, but we can reduce their impact through well-constructed buildings and infrastructure. The Indian government, through the Ministry of Earth Sciences, has completed microzonation in Delhi NCR, led by the National Centre for Seismology. And ICR is preparing to submit microzonation reports for the other cities within 6 months. Microzonation involves through geological, geotechnical, and geophysical surveys to understand sediment properties and their behavior through strong shaking. Delhi is classified as Zone 4, while Lucknow is placed in Zone 3, indicating varying seismic risk levels. The entire northeast region, Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir, and Nepal are categorized as Zone 5, the commonly seismically active region. However, the primary challenge remains in developing effective implementation and monitoring mechanisms. While making structures earthquake resistant increases costs by 5 to 7%, this is not expected to be a limiting factor. The real challenge is updating the Bureau of Indian Standards (BIS) codes that guide structural engineers in building constructions. This update needs to incorporate insights from seismic microzonation studies and become an integral part of engineering curricula. Although this will take time, it's a significant step toward having earthquake-resistant structures in the coming years. With a better scientific understanding, the aim is to prevent a magnitude 6 earthquake from disrupting daily life or necessitating evacuations.
Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.